Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new video, and today is not a process video, it's not a flip through, it's a gathering stuff slash prep video, and I'm working on a little bin here of stuff for my recent trip to Milwaukee. And since I lost footage of the travel portion, I felt like I wanted to gather up my stuff right away so that I have it fresh in my mind, knowing what I saw and what I did, and so I could gather things appropriate to that. So I've done that. The only other issue is I don't know what album I'm going to use. I don't know if it'll be a 6x8 or if it'll be a Life Crafted where it's 3x8 or 4x8. Really, I was only there late Friday night through late Sunday afternoon. So it's not like it was a huge trip. I'm thinking I could fit it in a Life Crafted, but I do have space in some 6x8s that I have. So I just don't know. So what I have picked out here, most of it would work for both. There are a couple of 4x6 cards that obviously would be a little trickier to use if I did a Life Crafted album, but I want them in there just in case, and it doesn't mean that I can't cut them apart and do something else with those. So let's jump in here and see what I have. So putting things together like this for a specific trip is something I do a lot. And for me, it's just easier to store and organize things. So like if I see something that I know would work with photos I have, throwing it all in one bin so it's easily at my disposal is great. That works really well for me. So as you can see here, I've separated into some smaller bags here, and that just helps me keep it all organized. So in this one, this is just some generic stuff related to travel, but it's colors that I know would work, themes. Like this, I'm thinking maybe for a specific restaurant we went to, it had a lot of blue and orange in it. So basic cards like this that I like the color, and I know that it would probably work with something. Obviously I have a lot more, travel stuff than what you're seeing here, but this is just some basic items to kind of get me started. The other thing I'm thinking about for this album is I may challenge myself a little bit and try to do the entire album in a weekend. I've done that before with only one project, and I love the fact that I was able to get it done so quickly and it didn't take months and months, and I could look at it right away. So because this was a small trip, I'm kind of thinking I might want to try that challenge again. So in this bag here, I have winter and cold themed things because it was like in the 30s when we were there, but it did snow quite heavily on Sunday, and everything was pretty much still covered in snow around town. And so I thought these might be good. I've had a couple of these acrylic embellishments for a long time, and honestly, I'm not a winter person. I kind of hate it. I don't like snow. I don't like cold. So it's taken me a while to use some of these because it's just not something I use all the time. There's some phrases in there. I have these cute stickers from Pretty Little Studio that, as you can see, I've hardly used any, so I might as well use them for this project. And then a bunch of other little winter themed phrases and ephemera pieces, and then another sheet of these from Pretty Little Studio, just little cutouts. Haven't used any of those, as you can tell. And then just some kind of generic cards, but in colors that I thought would work. I was wearing a pink jacket. Normally I wouldn't pick that, but I thought it might brighten up how drab it was. It was very gray the entire time we were there. We only saw the sun for a little bit, and that was like right when we were leaving Sunday. So I thought maybe that pink would help brighten it up, give some fun color. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of gray and white in terms of outdoor things anyway. All right. Oops, I didn't put these in there. But I'll put those off to the side for now. Moving on to what's next in the pile, I have some music-themed things, and that's because Saturday night we went out to an Irish pub for dinner, and we didn't know it, but we discovered when we got there that they were going to have live music at 9 o'clock. And so we stuck around so that we could see that. So I do have some music-themed things there. And then one of my big goals for the weekend was to go to the Milwaukee Art Museum because I've been to Milwaukee plenty of times, But when we went, it was years ago, and we always stayed with a friend, and we really didn't leave her house and do much. And so I wanted to go out and actually see stuff, and the art museum was my number one. So I have picked out a couple of things here that have to do with art. And then also they had some really cool murals in the downtown area. And so I thought this one might be good. Something a little unusual, something fun to make it pop and stand out and be different. So I have those. And then, ooh, food stuff. We had some really good food and coffee while we were there. We had a good breakfast the first day, a fun lunch at the local market, and then the dinner at the Irish pub. And then Sunday we did a huge brunch at a Dutch restaurant, of all things. And I want to make sure that I showcase all of those because it was all good. So I have some fun cards here. Like this one I chose because it's got orange in it. And I know there's orange in the photos from the Dutch cafe. So I thought, okay, maybe I can make that work. This I chose for the public market because there's lots of green in there. There's another orange option. And then several things about coffee since we had that. There was a 3x4 coffee card as well. And then these I thought would be good for like this, our breakfast the first day. We just went to a local coffee shop that also had breakfast sandwiches and bagels. And so this would fit really well. And then look at these freaking cute coffee stickers. And the place where we got coffee was kind of an upscale coffee place, which we didn't really know when we picked it. But these I think would work very well with the decor and just the vibe and everything. So I will be excited to use those. Next in the pile is a bunch of stuff about books because I used to do a traveler's notebook where I would scrap about the books that I read, and I loved it, but it just got to be too much. I have too many other projects going, but I have lots of book related things left, including stamp sets. So I figured, when else am I going to use them at this point? Let's get them out of my stash and get them used. And this is really the only paper that I've included here, and these are the same. So I have options that I could go either way with the yellow or the crumpled paper. I like it, but I did go to an independent bookstore when I was there, and I absolutely loved it, and I want to showcase that. So I grabbed my 2 book related stamp sets here so I can use those. And then I have this lovely sheet of stickers. I have this sticker. This is an old Kelly Perky one, or Paper Person. Can't remember if this is before or after she switched over, but that's there. And I have one card that looks like bookshelves. I don't know that this color is really going to match in here, this color scheme, but I threw it in there just in case. And then I'm still working with this batch of stickers, and I freaking love these. I really love a lot of the stuff by Pipsticks, so this should not be a shock, but I really love those. And I think this will match because there was a lot of green. Like the whole display in their front window was green. All the covers of the books were green, the accessories were green, everything. So I think a lot of these would probably work well. So I'm excited to try those. All right, last but not least, I have my memorabilia that I picked up. I did get this bag at the art museum, but I didn't mind that it got folded because I knew it was too big. No matter what size album I choose, this is really too big for it. So that's okay. And it helps me keep my stuff in order, which is good. Make sure I get it all there. So I have a couple of things from the art museum. So I have my ticket. And then this is the main reason I went, is because I love Dale Chihuly. And they have this lovely Chihuly piece there. And then they also had a postcard. So I bought one. I mean, my pictures are good, but it's always nice to have that too. And then this is the front of the museum. It's supposed to look like I think it's meant to look like a whaling ship, I think is what they said. And then you can walk across this. There's a park over on this side. You can walk across this right into the museum. It's quite nice. So I bought that because I did get some shots, but it was a very cloudy day and the sky looks better here. So we'll see if I end up using it. And then I have my museum guide. So again, this is probably too big. Maybe I could fit it in a 6x8, but I may cut it down a little bit. But I'm not opposed to using the whole thing and keeping it as is and just attaching it with like the citrus twist adhesive thing and putting it in the binder, but we'll see. But I have all of those from the museum. And then I also went to the Mitchell Park Domes, which is kind of like their botanical garden, but it's under 3 domes and you get different environments in each one. This is about membership, which I wasn't planning to do that, but I really like the front of it. And so I wanted it in case I want to cut that out and use it. But then I also bought this in the gift shop. It's just a vinyl sticker, but I love that it also has purple, because that's kind of their logo, the green and purple. So I could do these together, maybe one at the start, one at the finish, not sure. But I have them both, and I think this was like $2 or something, this sticker. It was cheap. And then at the bookstore, I found this, and both my husband and I have been to Ireland, and so anything Irish will catch our eye. I loved this bookmark. What was it? $2.95 only for this. My intention is to scrap it. If I can fit it, make it work. If not, then I'll just keep it and I'll actually use it for reading. But I love it, and I thought maybe I could use it on the page for the Irish pub, because that would be fitting. So I have that. And then also, when I was checking out of the bookstore, they threw in this free bookmark from the store. I definitely want to use that. And this would actually work really well in a 3x8, because I could use my fuse to cut it down if I needed to make it fit tightly in a page protector. But I could also put it on a 6x8 page and it would look okay if I had, other things with it. So I'm really excited to try to incorporate all of these things that I have, not just my memorabilia items, but all the other things as well. So hopefully this gets you excited to see me scrap my Milwaukee trip. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to start that, but keep your eyes peeled. Thanks for watching.